All right, and we are live. Another broadcast of the Roofing on the Rise. We are in the RSI studio, where Roofing Supply Incorporated here in Houston, Texas, sponsors every single broadcast, and you can come and get your materials from me here at RSI.
Nice.
Today we have an awesome guest, TJ McCormick. TJ,
How's it going, man?
dude, amazing! I'm super excited to have you on.
Here I am all of a sudden like choking up, man. I'm not crying, I promise. But glad to be here.
Man, I'm glad that you're here. The Rise event was insane.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the entire thing. I can only imagine what the first part of it was.
Yeah.
The Q&A was popping.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
I loved it.
It's incredible to be able to have that amount of reach, and then also be able to give some people some hope for their business or some of the things that they might be going through now. Is what we're trying to touch on, like that they're not alone, and that there are people out there that are willing to help them and show them the struggles that they might have been through. And our event also educates the hell out of them with gold nugget after gold nugget. And I'm really thankful for the people who have said yes to being a part of our event. It's an incredible feeling to be able to touch that many people.
Absolutely. I mean, so we see, the posts online, the videos, of course, viral video with your wife. I called that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Hopefully another one soon. Let's see.
Dude, I'm telling you, you're on a roll.
Yeah.
And so like the vision for the education and our industry is a big thing that has been on my mind here recently, and where we're going with it, how we approach it, and the questions that we ask, how we methodically present those to the people. Yesterday I got to witness how you did some of that.
Sure.
And pretty much nothing was off limits.
With there if I were to suppress somebody else, I wouldn't want them to suppress me, especially if I felt passionate about something, right?
Yeah.
But also I understand that there is sometimes a line. But yesterday was off limits for David.
100%.
And you know what? David is real.
Yeah.
He was raw.
Yes.
He came and arose to the occasion, and he talked about things that needed to be talked about in our industry.
Yeah.
There are people out there that are scared to say what's on their mind, and that's what holds us back.
Yeah. I think a lot of the times also a platform to be able to say that, or a voice, right? Shout out to David Taggart. You've definitely set yourself up where, as it comes to branding yourself, being able to give yourself that voice. And then, of course, being able to stand on the stage and give that to everyone in the area. I mean, people flew in.
Yeah, they did. It was pretty amazing to have all those people there.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm mingling with people, and they're like, yeah, I'm flying out. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You flew here and other people drove hours. David drove hours to get there himself.
Amparo and
K-Love. Yes.
Those guys came all the way from Dallas, and one of them came all the way from California because they were supposed to put on an event. They canceled their event to come to ours.
What?
Yeah, I was so, I love Amparo. I can't believe she did that, but thank you,
Amparo did that?
Yeah, she canceled.
Shout out to Amparo and Latinos and Roofing. Awesome. I was actually talking to her. I was like, hey, man, I got your card from your original business, like when you were roofing.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Sanson Contracting.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome being able to look back and see those things. Also see the growth with a lot of these people, because like Latinos and Roofing, for instance, they're utilizing their Facebook to grow.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. Like, I really support the Latinos and Roofing group. I'm in that group as well.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big supporter of Liz and Amparo and K-Love and Danny and all of those great people over there. Awesome. They're doing amazing work. And then, in our industry, we tend to think of ourselves as being okay, our roofing sales businesses, but the Latino world, man, I tell you what, those folks over there, I want them to be the face of the roofing industry in some senses. Then they in all senses, right? We all deserve to be, but they work their ass off for us.
Yes.
And we make a lot of money I mean, they also make a lot of money too, but they go out there and crush it. I'm sitting there and I woke up this morning. I'm like, if I was a roofer in Houston, I would hate my life. Like, there's no way I could get
I
on.
did.
Yeah, there's
Like
no 10 roofs
I
a
did
day.
I did TPO. I did
Yeah,
Durlast here, and it was hot.
yeah,
We elected to do it at night.
yeah.
At least, big jobs like
Right.
that whenever it got really, really hot. But these shingle crews, they can't do that.
No, man, I couldn't imagine doing 10 inspections a day. Like,
Yeah,
let
no.
alone stand on a roof.
Yeah. It's
Right.
hot.
Yeah.
It is sultry here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not just hot, it's sticky.
Oh no, man! I got off the airplane in the first 24 hours. I couldn't stop sweating in places like behind my kneecaps. I'm like, what in the world is going on around here?
You said that yesterday, bro. I almost died. You're like, behind my kneecaps. I was like, you know what? You're right. It does sweat right there. And like, I never knew that before I came to Houston.
Man, if you come to Houston, you got to get yourself like an Antarctica pass or something for the day every now and then, because it's hot here.
It is absolutely sultry. It's nuts.
Yeah, Matt Radford says he's grateful to be a Canadian.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I didn't know Matt was Canadian until yesterday.
You know, most of our team is.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I'm one of only a couple of Americans, but you know what? We're an American company, but most of our employees are Canadian and or from another country.
That's awesome, though.
All over the world. We have people all over the world, literally.
That's true diversity.
It is true diversity. Like being able to talk to Gonzalo in Spain, or our team over doing great things over in the Asian countries or wherever our people are. It's so cool to just interact with 100 and something employees that could be living a totally diverse life somewhere else.
Man, I equate roofer to like a tree, like the roots to a tree.
Yeah.
And they just keep on getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Like I just like I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to see that domination of the market is in your guys' mindset.
We're being humble about it, but we're really growing and we're really loving the organic and the growth in general.
Speed to market is everything with you guys.
You have to be on time.
Yeah.
And we're right on time right now, and we're delivering the product the way that it needs to be delivered to our clients, and then also making sure that they're taken care of, because that's where a lot of companies fail, is that customer support or that customer service, and our team really drives that home with the employee or with the client, not the employees.
Yeah. You got to have that relationship with your clients, especially with measurements.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we don't mess around as roofers.
Right.
Like, and I know you were in the roofing industry for quite some time, so when you're ordering a roof graph, quick squares or whatever it may be, that it's going to take 3 or 4 days. Or you're going to get it and it's a 2D report and you don't have the pitch values and you have to go in and manually put in the pitch values.
Yep.
So user friendly is a big deal.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So for some of the audience, because some of the audience isn't roofers, right? There's a couple of those out there. Could you explain exactly what roofer is and what you guys do?
Yeah. So roofer is residential and commercial measurements. We do those in a couple of different payment options, right? If you want, if you're a first time user, we give you your first measurement for free. Then if you just want to be that report after report person, you can do the $15 and we get it back to you in 24 hours. Or you can join one of our plans and you can get it for $10 in 3 hours. The next thing is a lot of people don't know about our digital custom sales proposals that our team helps roofers build. So your contracts that are handwritten and you're going door to door, you can literally pull your measurement and press create proposal, and it'll pull all those measurements over into the proposal. And you build that proposal with our team, like I said.
Okay.
And you can email it or hand sign it right there on the spot on your iPad or whatever with the homeowner. And then
no more DocuSign.
No more DocuSign. You don't need that. We have.
You have to pay extra for the signage?
No, it's all included in the package deal.
Hey.
So, yeah. And whatever package you choose, right?
Right.
And then a lot of people out in the industry, maybe you were here yesterday. I don't know if you were there yet, but one of the things that I'm seeing And it's not just our tool, it's a lot of other competitions tools as well, called the instant estimator tool.
Yeah.
The instant estimator tool is a tool that goes on your website. That once a client or a potential client goes to your website, they can click on a button that says get an estimate right now.
Yeah.
And that's a real estimate. Like I mean, it's, you might have to change it up,
Right.
but they answer a series of 10 questions about their house or their roof. Like things like, do they need financing? What's the pitch of their roof? You know, is it flat? Is it pitched?
Yeah.
What else is going on with it? Once they answer that question in 26 seconds, they get an estimate for good, better, best roofing system or whatever products that you offer. You can even offer Christmas lights. Yeah.
Through the roofer.
Yeah, through the instant estimator. You can offer Christmas lights, you can offer
Really?
repairs. Yeah. You can offer roof rejuvenations. It's whatever
You hear
yours.
that, guys?
Yeah, whatever
Christmas
service you
lights.
have.
I know a lot of you guys here in Houston do Christmas lights,
Yeah,
so
you know
like
what?
pay
There are a
attention.
lot of roofers out there that do
A
Christmas
lot of
lights.
them.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay, so in the north, I know they did Christmas lights, roofs,
Yeah.
and driveways.
Or gutters. Yeah.
Oh, and gutters too.
Yeah,
But yeah.
But still, yeah, no, like in the wintertime, like after October, we don't really put on a lot of roofs in Colorado unless it's, above 40 degrees. And
Yeah.
so in December, it's cold. So
Yeah.
a lot of roofers need something to do, and they can make $1,000 installing Christmas lights.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
So let's jump into social media a little bit
Let's
because
do it.
like you're like the social media sensation of roofing right now.
Thank you.
Right. So like
Yeah.
if you research roofer, if you type in roofer, your name is going to be up there.
Yeah.
Millions of views,
Yeah.
viral videos.
Yeah.
Where did you start?
A couple of years ago, when I started years ago, I was telling the story last night. I'll be vulnerable about it here on camera today. Is like, back in 2007, 2008, flip phones were coming out.
Yeah.
And I became immediately addicted to cell phones.
Yeah.
And that's a true statement. Like today, there are many of you out there that are watching right now know that I can't put my cell phone down.
Yeah.
And when I started doing that, like I was a police officer back then, and I still I keep the cell phone on my lap,
Yeah.
right? And when I would get out of the car to go stop a car that had been speeding or whatever, I'd drop the cell phone on the ground, I'd run it over with my tire, and I'd go back and I'd buy another cell phone, right? So you know how many cell phones I went through back then, and there were flip phones, and I'd pay $400-500 back then for a flip phone, right? You imagine paying $400-500 for a flip phone now?
Oh my gosh.
People would laugh at you. But but anyways, like even still, like fast forward, 10 years, I'm out there with the Crest Hustle gang back a few years back, and
yeah. Those are good boys. Shout out to Logan Graff and Sam Struthers over there.
And a few years back, they were those guys in the industry that were like Crest Hustle.
Yeah.
Remember? I don't know if you.
Yeah, dude. I actually like went down for Hurricane Harvey,
Right.
and I was legal labor for them down
Right.
on Hurricane Harvey. So like all the places where we were having issues.
Yeah.
With legal labor.
2017, 2018.
Yeah, we would go in and we would do the damn thing, bro.
Yeah.
We were the Wedo crew. That's what everybody called us.
Yeah, we were all posting selfies, and you know who I really learned a lot from back then was Landon Smith.
Really?
Yeah, Landon.
I remember him.
Landon was that guy that I am now.
Yeah.
But Landon had a following on social, and people would watch him up doing inspections or talking about sales and that's, I was like, wow, man, you have so many people watching you.
Yeah.
And it really inspired me to be better. And so a couple of years go by, and I'm still working I'm back in Colorado, and I realize COVID's happening, and my marketer had been yelling at me for years, stop sending me pictures. And I'm like, what do you mean stop sending me pictures? He's like, I'm tired of posting pictures. You should be sending me videos.
Okay.
And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, nobody's looking at pictures anymore, and you're paying me to post pictures.
Yeah.
Like, give me real content. And I was like, what's real content? Like, what do you mean? He's like, you have to show me some sort of action, or people aren't going to watch our content. And so he was 18 then. And so I'm like, okay. So I start taking videos, and even up until that point, I had only had probably less than 100 videos in my phone.
Yeah.
And so COVID happens, and I needed. I'm out of money. Like
Yeah.
I'm completely broke. I give my son full custody, and
I
I'm like,
remember that.
yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do now? Like I can't go out and sell because I have full custody. My son back at the in those times was in first grade,
Yeah.
and he didn't have um uh he he was in first grade. He was at home with us because, or with me, because the school was shut down
Yeah.
because COVID had shut the schools down.
Right.
So I couldn't go out for the day because he was on Zoom calls for school.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to start making TikTok videos. And once I started doing it and I started getting the traction, like I was talking about with Landon and
Yeah.
a couple of other people back in the old days, it really started to resonate with me. And I was seeing the return ASAP on doing short form videos less than 60 seconds, and still today a lot of people out there are still experiencing great success by just starting with reels instead of doing that long form content.
Yeah. It's hard. Long form content is not as easy as short form, I would say.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot more dedication to that long form,
Yeah.
and consistency. Consistency is everything that I'm
Yeah.
learning. If you're consistent on a certain day every single week, people are going to come back and they're going to see that. But what I find also is like people respect the journey.
Yeah.
They like that. They like to see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
This is like the next time they see you is in a video,
Yeah.
and the last time they seen you was in a video.
Yeah.
So it's just like the next time, it's the next interaction. And finding out, like for me, knowing people online is synonymous. And Tim Brown was talking about this the
Yeah.
other day. Basically, is synonymous with knowing someone
Yeah.
right now. So like I've known you online for quite some time. And so we meet each other and it's like we didn't skip a beat,
No.
right? Like we didn't act like, oh, this is our first interaction. We
Right.
just kind of like we just went with it.
Yeah.
And I like that. And that's a lot of people can't quite grasp the difference between life and Facebook. And I'm like, there's not a fucking difference.
There's not.
They're together
Yeah.
and they're synonymous.
Let me explain some scary stuff that happens in my life and in regards to what you're talking about right now. Like social media, people were like, oh, social media is fake, right?
Yeah.
And like what you're talking about, the interaction that we have, it becomes natural because you and I get to know each other because we watch each other on social media.
We talk to each other every day.
Yeah, we do. But on social media, for me, whenever I post a video, I might not know any of the people who are watching my video,
Right.
but those people are having these thoughts in their mind that they're having real relationships with me, and they will message me for days or months. And every time I post a video, they're messaging me, thanking me for that video or thanking for that thought. Like and psychologically, when we're online, we don't think about what other people are thinking,
Right.
but we know what we want them to think.
Yeah.
But if you're building a relationship with people who you don't even know through a camera, it's a different way of interaction and networking that's just on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So like what you're saying right now about not skipping that beat, like those people have those same feelings even
Yeah.
though they'll never meet me.
Wow. That's
So
interesting.
yeah.
Um, I I deal with the I have a few people from my past that knew me that I don't know.
Yeah.
That like me and my wife used to throw parties.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife, Sarah.
What's up, wifey?
We had a great time, still do. And so like we threw these awesome parties, charged at the door and stuff like that, and a few people came and it's like fuel, motivation to them. So
Yeah.
like they're watching this stuff and I get message and I'm not thinking that it's reaching anyone
Right.
because I mean I just started this like a couple months ago, and I get a message. It's like, hey man, you're motivation for me during the day.
Yeah.
So don't stop posting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? All right. So Monday, or excuse me, morning, noon, night, like without fail, I've got to post.
You do.
And I have a responsibility to my viewers to do that. Um, do you feel uh weighed down or pressured whenever you're like, I mean, let's just be honest, like millions of viewers. Are you at all pressured with this?
Oh, yeah. I'm pressured in life in general
Yeah,
with my constant day to day, and it's my fault, right? Like
yeah,
I put all of the pressure on myself. I'm the one that says yes when people ask me for things, and
yeah,
I'm a yes man. I always have been a yes man, and a lot of times I overwhelm myself to the extremes where I put myself into health issues, or like, and I don't talk about that often. Like, I
yeah,
haven't been the healthiest over the past 8 months, right?
yeah,
I haven't been the healthiest over the past few years because of the amount of stress that I've put myself under.
yeah,
And people will reach out and they'll say, will you do this for me, or will you do this, or and I'll say yes. But the reason that I do that is because of those same people that reach out to you.
yeah,
They consistently reach out to me. Like, it's sometimes, like, I I love the really awesome messages that I get from those people, that say that they are in a rock and a hard place, and maybe I lifted them up, or
yeah,
I educated them to the point where they won a job, or I'm doing something that makes their self confidence come way up. Like, there's so many different things that people have said to me, but those are things that resonate with me, and they make me keep going. Also, if you stop posting, that algorithm knows that you stop posting.
mm,
And as soon as you stop posting, they stop showing you.
yeah.
And so, for example, Facebook has this increase. They show,
Visibility.
yeah, they show the
I've been
increase.
getting these messages. It's
Yeah,
and I didn't know what it was
yeah,
for a little bit, and then
yeah,
it's just like you have to engage constantly on a cellular level,
yeah,
not just posting. It's posting, liking, sharing, commenting, engaging with everything that you possibly can,
yeah,
and it's a lot.
yeah. I've had that increased visibility 150 days straight right now.
My man.
So, but it's at that point where I'm having to post about 15 to 20 times a day on all platforms.
No shit.
But it's not just one platform for me anymore. It's not just TikTok. TikTok was
Right.
my jam, right? And then
Right.
Facebook was like, oh, okay, I'll do a couple posts here and there. Now it's my TikTok. Now
Yeah.
it's Roofer's TikTok.
Yeah.
Now it's Roofer's YouTube. Now it's my YouTube. Now
Right.
it's my Instagram and Roofer's Instagram.
Right.
And now it's my personal Facebook and Roofer's personal Facebook. It's so it's not just one platform. I'm having to do this on multiple
8
platforms a day.
platforms times 2.
Yeah, and then do our shows and do all of the other things. I'll be a
Right.
dad, right? I'm a dad. Like, I'm a dad first,
Oh,
and
the content is a full-term job. It's a
it's an
full-time job.
overtime
Yeah,
job.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm finding that out a
Yeah,
whole lot because, like, I mean, we just hired, I met, shout out to our editing staff, just hired him yesterday. I'm so excited to have him and Kawash, on board, and without their help
yeah,
here in the last few days, I would not have the reels
yeah,
that I've been posting because I just haven't had the time. I mean, from 9 a.m., 8 a.m. videoing and events until midnight. two
yeah,
o'clock in the morning
yeah,
was when I 2:30 was when I got home last night,
yeah. That's
talking to politicians and stuff.
that's a normal day.
Right.
Yeah,
You just gotta get it. And so whenever you're okay, you talk about the algorithm,
right.
right? Like,
The algorithm is my best friend.
feed the algorithm. You got
It's
to.
it's more than feeding the
Oh,
algorithm. It's like taking care of a child.
yeah, there you go.
It,
Okay.
you have to put that energy into it, and if you don't, that child will die.
All right, so tell us more about difference between Facebook algorithm and TikTok because I know
Yeah.
it's like diametrically
Yeah,
opposed.
yeah. So, the TikTok algorithm is what's changed our society. I truly feel that. The way that the TikTok algorithm, it never was about the amount of followers that you have. It's the type of content that you're creating. And then TikTok determines, or the algorithm determines, whether or not they should show that to 10 people or 10 million people.
Hmm.
And that was very interesting to me, to be able to reach more than the amount of people that were following me.
Yeah.
or being my friend. Like on Facebook, up until what, 9 months ago, 8 months ago, you had a
You had a
limit
cap.
of 5,000
Yeah.
friends, and once you got to 5,000 people, there was no more adding
It was
anymore.
a new Facebook.
Right, and then
Yeah.
you had to create a page if you wanted to reach other people.
Yeah.
And now with the Facebook algorithm matching, the TikTok or the YouTube Shorts or even the Instagram Reel algorithm, we don't have to talk about Instagram.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about the content now, like if you're posting reels on Facebook, you're gonna have the same amount of algorithm as TikTok will, as long as that content is great. And I'm seeing that, and
Yeah.
you're seeing that on both my roofer, or not my roofer, but roofer's Facebook
Yeah.
reels, and then also my reels.
Yeah.
If you're posting reels, they're going to show them to people.
Oh, yeah.
And like last night, Silberry and I we were all at dinner last night. We went to dinner at shout out to Lauro Houston. It was great.
Nice.
But Silberia got a video of the hailstorm in Allen last
Yeah.
night. Oh, by the way,
It
shout out
hailed?
to the Dallas. Hey, Dallas, you guys just always are like jealous of
I'm telling you.
Colorado. So so but anyways, the algorithm on Facebook is starting to pick up for people, and I think that the reason that is because they see that TikTok is winning the market share.
Yeah.
um, Here's a stat. A lot of people don't know that most kids under the age of 15 aren't watching YouTube anymore. They might still be, right?
My children do.
But you know where the number one search for kids under 15 is coming from?
Huh.
It's TikTok. So if kids need to learn something, they're not searching Google anymore. They're not searching YouTube. They're going to TikTok
Really?
and searching it, and that they're watching those videos to learn, just like we do when we go to
Right.
YouTube. And
We were kind of conditioned for YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah. Programmed.
So
Almost.
here in the next 6-8 years, when those kids are buying their first homes, we're still, me and you, or other people like us who are in our mid 40s. I'm in my mid 40s, right? Are stuck, still trying to figure out how to market to those kids.
Yeah.
And now here we are 8 years later, and we're like, oh, we're 10 years behind in the roofing industry. And
Yeah.
well, here I am 10 years before in the future saying we need to do things to reach these kids that are watching TikTok to learn how we're doing things.
Yeah.
Because 8 years from now, what are those kids going to be watching that we're still behind on?
How long has TikTok been in existence?
It's 2018. So 5 years.
5 years.
In 5 years, they changed the world.
That is very true. Do you think that TikTok will be obsolete in the next 10 years?
Here's what I think. I think that TikTok's going to go through a reckoning in the United States.
Yeah.
Because TikTok is owned by China.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Like ByteDance is owned by China. You can say whatever you want about China not getting our data. China does whatever they can to get our data.
Right.
They've been flying those balloons over top of us that we're stopped talking about for months.
China, send your balloons back. You can have them.
But it's here's what I think is going to happen. Like Montana just banned TikTok yesterday, the whole state.
Okay.
But it's going to go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
It's going to be a First Amendment violation of our rights. And the Supreme Court is going to uphold that.
Yep.
And they're going to have to regulate the hell out of it. And they're probably going to.
That's hard.
Yeah.
How are you going to regulate
an algorithm?
Right.
Though, I mean, we're talking about that.
Artificial intelligence.
We're talking about that in Congress right now because algorithms will be able to destroy the world if it wants to one day.
Interesting that you said that. I was actually talking with politicians yesterday, and that was one of the biggest things that they asked. Actually, they were extremely interested about Facebook and TikTok, and because they pick up their phone and they consume.
Right. All of us do.
We all do.
The average consumer is watching more than 47 minutes of short form videos a day. 47 minutes.
How much do you consume?
I'm going to be honest. I don't consume a lot of other people's content.
Exactly.
And the reason is I don't want my content to be, I don't want to look at somebody else's and be like, damn, I should be doing
cool.
that. Or damn, that was cool. Or wow, I get jealous of other people doing well too sometimes, right? I'm a
Okay.
real person, right?
Yeah.
Like, dang, how did that dude get that many views on a or
Oh,
how did
shit.
that many people engage with that content? But no, really, I'm grateful for all of you guys out there making the struggle real, right?
Oh, yeah.
But no, like, I just, I get, I'm excited for that, but I'm also like, I the algorithms, like Elon says, right, or the politicians are saying right now, like you're talking
Yeah.
to, like, imagine being able to build an algorithm that can't be stopped, that can train other algorithms
Right.
to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, Alex Ramosi talked about that.
Yeah.
Asking the AI the right questions, and then at one point, the AI is going to eliminate the need for us to ask them questions.
Right, they're gonna just be listening.
Exactly,
Right, they
and they're
already
gonna be
are.
right.
Like, our
If you've
phones are
got your
right here.
phone, they're listening right now. We can talk about, eating steak and smoking cigars, and 20 minutes, our phones, our Facebook, when you reel through that, you're gonna find an ad that's targeted from that. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. I actually proved that yesterday and
Yeah,
something else I was doing.
that's Big Brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's not TikTok. That's Facebook and
That's
other places.
Facebook.
Yeah, man. Here's what I say about the community guidelines, or the things that people are worried about. Like, oh my God, they're taking your data. Facebook's been taking your data since 2007. People.
Thank you.
Yeah, more than 85% of the world, China has their data already.
Well, and if anybody did the Meta Verified like I did, they have our data, like
They have our data.
everything.
They're
Like,
watching, like they ask you, "Can we listen? Can we take your
yeah,
information?" Yes, and we, "Oh, yes,
absolutely.
please allow."
Yeah,
Because if you don't allow, guess what happens? You start to get suppressed, and because they don't want you to be shown to other people if you don't believe in the platform.
yeah.
So,
Have you found any issues, say posting another handle on TikTok?
um, posting on another handle?
No, like tagging your Facebook or
Yeah,
your Instagram,
yeah, coming from
because it's different.
TikTok
So
to
TikTok to Instagram and Meta. So it's different if it's on Instagram and you're tagging Facebook because it's on the Meta platform,
yeah.
but TikTok's not.
Yeah, right now I'm currently in a demonetized situation on Facebook for sharing my TikTok videos to Facebook.
Okay, that's something I was actually going to ask you because
Yeah.
I'm in a demonetized state as well, and I've been in a demonetized state for a little while.
Yeah.
I don't understand how to get that back.
Yeah.
And I
It,
don't know when I lost it.
it's if you ever shared a post that has a watermark on it, or a sound bite that is considered commercial sound, or copywritten music.
Uh-oh. I did text you about
Yeah.
Sony's Nasty Grams.
Yeah, and I'm
Thank
getting
you for helping me with
yeah,
that.
I did it too. Like, I want to post my videos that I create on TikTok that are badass. Like, and
Yeah.
if I can't share my video, why can I share my link? Like,
Yeah.
what's the difference in a link versus the actual video? Like,
Yeah.
it's weird to me. I'm gonna end up probably getting my monetization back, right?
Yeah.
But for right now, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get more engaging content out there. But even like, I got a notice the other day. I created a video on Facebook in the Reels, and I used one of their sounds that they allowed me to use.
Yep.
And I immediately got a copyright notice.
Yep.
And I'm like, "What do you mean
I've gotten the same
notice?"
thing.
Like, I used a sound that you suggested to
Exactly.
me.
Yep.
So, but and
Because
then
you gave me the rules, bro. Like, I
right.
text you, I was like,
Yeah.
listen, I don't know why I'm getting these nasty grams from Sony, but it's happening. And you like walked me through it, and I did. And then the exact same thing happened again here recently.
Yeah.
So that's why I got into an editor, because they've got copyright
Right.
licensings, and it's expensive.
It is.
It's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, we're still even looking into it because we want badass content. We want content that no one has.
Right.
And to do that, you have to have those licenses.
I think Facebook should do like they do on business pages, and then also like TikTok does on commercial pages, like for Roofr, right?
Yeah.
We can only pick sounds that are not copyrighted.
Yes.
And even on like the Get Roofr account for Facebook, You can only choose commercial music
Yeah.
or what I call elevator music, right?
Yeah.
There's some great coffee shop
Yeah.
music out there now, but and I like the coffee shop, but like don't offer me some trending music
Right.
that is, is great if I
Yeah.
can't use it.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
you want to
Well,
demonetize me, you're
so
the
if
reason.
you have so here's the big thing is like if you get the content that music that will work on Facebook, you cannot share that to Instagram.
No,
So I just stopped completely having any kind of outside noise besides what I own,
right.
and that is the content that I produce.
Yeah. And you know what? I started to feel like my own sounds were doing better about a year
Yes.
ago, because the algorithm felt like I was being more authentic.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you're not authentic if you don't
Right.
use it, but I'm saying like I think I'm saying that I'm portraying what the algorithm tells me,
Yeah.
and I really study it. I feel like the algorithm is kind of like for me. I watch it. I know it. Like people are like you're crazy, right? You know the algorithm, but right,
You have
it's
to really
yeah,
study Facebook to
all
understand
of
it.
them. Yeah,
Well, yeah. I'm really diving into Facebook. I
yeah,
have not touched TikTok at all. Like,
yeah,
so I'm posting
yeah.
all the time. Like
Right.
anything, any video that I've got, I'm posting it. I'm also using AI for SEO.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that.
Right.
But like that question came up as what do you use for AI, or why do you think AI is useful? And I'm like, I use AI all day,
Yeah.
almost every day for SEO.
Yeah.
Why pay somebody to do my SEO when I have something that can code a fucking website
Yeah.
right here? I
Yeah.
can do everything that I need right here. And it actually boosted stuff on YouTube a whole lot more. Like the
Sure.
visibility was a whole lot more once I started using the AI for SEO.
Yeah.
So whereas it comes to the benefits of studying your craft, because we study our craft in roofing.
Yeah.
Do you think that roofers should study Facebook a little bit more
Yeah.
before they're just posting anything and everything?
Yeah, well, so yes, for business pages, you should definitely watch what you're posting. Yesterday I posted about the do's and don'ts of social media.
Yeah,
You should follow the do's and don'ts. If you don't know what those are, like I could definitely send them out to you. So please message us here if you want those. I'll send them over.
absolutely.
But you like there are people out there right now that will say, "Oh, you only should be making business content and you should only be making it this way." And I don't feel that way,
Yeah,
because my niche was not roofing content
yeah,
until the past 9-10 months.
right.
Like my niche was putting my personal brand out there and allowing other people to see my day-to-day life.
Yeah,
Once I started creating
raw.
right, raw, real me,
Yeah,
then people started watching the roofing content.
yeah,
And there are people out there right now that are struggling with their content that are teaching other people how to do it.
yeah,
And they're not sure how the algorithms are working. They're not
yeah,
sure how the reels are working. But they're out there saying business, business, business.
yeah,
You have to try whatever you can
yeah,
to figure out what works best for you. You should not only be doing it one way, you should be trying it multiple different ways until you get it right. And then if it's 3-4 months and you're still not getting any traction, change what you're doing. If you go 3-4 more months and it's not working, change how you're approaching it. And your content will take off if it's good content. That's one, like I say that, and I'll go home and I'll tell Karina, right?
yeah.
Karina, I can't believe that video didn't do well. And she's like, then stop giving the advice to other people that if the content is good, the algorithm will love it,
Okay,
and I'll be like,
that's that
okay,
good shit. She
yeah.
keeps you grounded.
Oh man, she puts me in my
Speaking of
place.
Karina,
Yeah,
so like you talked about this in some of your videos,
yeah,
how when you and Karina got together, you had a drop
I did.
in following.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
All right. So I'm in the very beginning, I made a ton of thirsty videos for women.
Woo, thirsty. All right.
And or not. Well, I mean, there were women and men. Let's just be honest, right?
Yeah.
And I gained my first 100,000 followers that way.
Okay.
And it was really me, um, me talking to the camera in a way that other people really liked, right?
Yeah.
And then now fast forward, it's different for me. It
Yeah.
it's like, Karina will say, you should try this or you should try this, and I'll try it, and sometimes it works, like the one video that we're talking about the other day.
Yeah.
But
That was her idea?
so it was my idea,
Yeah.
but she just made it happen.
Yeah.
So it was really like, I was like, "We should do this," and she was like, "Okay."
Bro, y'all executed that shit so perfectly.
Yeah.
As soon as I seen it, I was like, fucking viral.
Yeah, go back to that question one more time real quick that you were saying before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, I forgot it too. So,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to say that it was the okay. Whenever you and Karina got together,
Yeah.
you had a drop in
Oh,
following.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
do
yeah,
you think
yeah.
that is?
Oh, so, all right, so, Karina and I, we had been together off and on for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
I'll talk about my relationship right now.
Cool.
There might be other people out there that are struggling in their relationship right now too.
Yeah.
Karina and I love each other,
Yeah.
like, immensely, like, now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, almost, like, too good to be true kinda love.
Yeah.
But now, or back then when I announced that Karina and I had gotten back together, I lost 25,000 followers in 1 month.
That's a lot of followers.
And I took it to heart, like I really wanted those people to love me for me.
Yeah.
And Karina's like, "Look, TJ, if they stopped following you because of me, they weren't for you.
Yeah.
That wasn't your following. They didn't really believe in you. They believed in a pipe dream of possibly being with you one day."
Mm.
And so I took that advice from her, and I went back and I started rebuilding that brand,
Yeah.
that personal brand. And now, tomorrow I'll be at 300,000 followers on TikTok for the first time ever. And I'm at 299.3K right now. So I got a little 700 more followers
Oh
today.
yeah.
And that's just recently happened too. Over the past month, I've had 15,000 new followers on TikTok from several videos that I posted
Yeah.
last month. And let's talk about that on the Roofer pages, right? When I
Yeah.
started at Roofer, we were really only in on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so we had just started doing TikTok late last year. YouTube was something that Roofer has always been interested in. YouTube long form videos for us has been great. They post all their master classes, all of those really great videos for roofers out there. But it really never gained a whole lot of traction. We had 600 followers on YouTube, and let's go over all of them now. Since posting those short form videos to all of those platforms, we've gone from 8,500 followers, or let's just say call it 9,000 followers on all platforms, to over 25,000 followers in 6 months.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And so,
That's really good.
like, that's
For YouTube, that's
right.
good.
Yeah, YouTube, we have
YouTube's kind of hard, bro.
6,000.
Google.
We just started YouTube a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
For shorts, right?
Yeah.
So 45 days, we've grown 5,000
Shout out to Matt, because like he is really pushing that.
Yeah.
And like subscribe here,
Right.
and I'll subscribe to you.
Yeah.
And he does.
Matt's a great student and educator.
I like that.
Yeah, like Matt is the one who took the video for me for my most viral video.
Really?
And at RoofCon with the shorts video, the steep gear shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and
I
even
always wondered who held the camera there.
yeah, that was Matt.
All right,
And
cool.
and then also, Matt's like I said, a student, and I did an event in Daytona last year, right? And Matt started to see the algorithm take all of his videos viral from my event.
Yeah.
And so it really encouraged him to do better at his own videos,
Yeah.
which he's out there crushing right now.
Because if he took the video,
yeah,
he's capable of
taking more videos. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. But a lot of times I say it's my phone, right?
There you go.
But no, Matt took an amazing video. I told him where to hold it. And I tell everybody, I don't hide anything about what I do. If you can't see what I'm doing,
yeah,
you're blind, and you're deaf. So, I'm putting it out there in front of every single person that
Yeah.
wants to watch or wants to learn, you could replicate what I do every single day in
Yeah.
your own day to day. Just redo what I do. Like,
Mm.
and your stuff will be just as great as long as you do the things that you need to do. Make sure it's bright enough. Make sure there's plenty of great color. Make sure that there's great sound. Make sure that you're editing it in the front and the back, right? Cut it off, and make sure you're putting a hook, a body, and a closing, just like you would have in a book, right? A book doesn't do well unless it captures all of the attention that it's supposed to capture, and that goes for posting social content as well. Just imagine putting it in real life on a video instead of writing it down.
Mm.
So, but you can replicate and redo every single bit of content that I do. Like TikTok is known for trending content that other people are doing. So, like
Yeah.
maybe you post a video right now, and I go back and replicate it. Like 100 people might do that same video, and it's
Right. So trends are a big thing. Well,
yeah,
somebody asked me that last night, and
yeah,
I truthfully answered the question, because they're like, what trend did you see that was awesome that you jumped on
yeah,
that worked for you?" And I was like, "None of them,
right,
because I didn't do any of them.
right.
I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know about it."
Well, think about the news. Like the news, hundreds of years, the news has been reporting what's going on right now,
Right.
right? And you have CBS, NBC, ABC, and Fox now that are pushing news, and it's all the same news, but it's
Yeah.
different perspectives.
Yeah.
And where I succeed is the point of view of from my point of view, and your point of view is different than mine,
Yeah.
and so people are going to like NBC over ABC.
Right.
So and that's just what the way that I've been winning people over is like my point of view. People like my point of view.
You know, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with a lot of that. And honestly, approachability is big.
yeah,
So, people see someone like you, and don't take this the wrong way,
yeah,
but they immediately think unapproachable,
yeah. They do.
and you are not unapproachable. You
No,
are extremely approachable.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, like I said, I've said it a couple times. Like I approached you about the audio issue that I
yeah,
had with Sony, and you were so on top of it. Like I didn't wait 2 hours for you to contact me. I got the nasty gram and messaged you immediately. I
yeah,
didn't know anyone else to think of
right,
that would even know what I was talking about.
yeah,
And you knew immediately. You're like, okay, listen, here, this is what you do. And you walked me through it.
yeah.
And that I
Thank you,
respect.
thank you.
I really do respect that. And so do you find that in today's marketplace that people maybe are scared to approach you, and maybe this broadcast could help them with that?
Yeah, you know, I'm very quiet and reserved to myself, and
Yeah,
a lot of people don't realize how quiet and reserved I am,
yeah,
because they only see my social content,
right,
right? I'm very high functioning ADD and anxious and anxiety, right?
yeah,
And but at the same time, I love people,
yeah,
and I don't know how to approach people, like for real.
yeah,
That's an honest statement. And but when people come to me, I open up to them
yeah,
because being a cop for as long as I was, I shut down the way that I am as a person, because you never know who you can trust or who's going to come at you or who's going to say something to you, or and I'm just reserved until I'm like, hey, how's it going? And then when I shake hands with them, then I make a connection. And
yeah,
then or if somebody messages me, I'm never rude to somebody in a message, right? Because you
yeah,
never know who that person is or what they're going through right then. And if I can help somebody right this minute, I'm going to do it. But all you have to do is say, hey, TJ. And I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going?
yeah.
Because
You're not even rude when people like accost you. Like I didn't agree with something that you did recently, and I reached out,
yeah,
and because I felt like we had a relationship and I should.
yeah,
And you had probably one of the most respectful ways to go about that conversation and changed the way that I thought about that situation
yeah,
completely. And whenever I got into the situation that I was a little leery of, I was more excited about the reach
Thank you.
and what was going on than to even be considering that issue that I had in my it was gone.
Sometimes even in I'm guilty of doing that same thing that you and I talked about, right?
Yeah.
And that's judging of circumstance from the past. I have a problem with being vindictive myself
Yeah.
in my own mind. I will murder somebody in my mind for the rest of my life if I don't like them or if they've done something wrong to me.
Yeah.
And forgiveness has been hard for me.
Yeah.
But I've really recently, in the past 2 years, just started to see like, you know, maybe those people didn't know me, or maybe they just had a misconception of what I was trying to say. Because I feel like a lot of times my message is misconstrued,
Yeah.
like, or maybe somebody just took it the wrong way,
Yeah.
and
It's very easy
yeah,
because we're basing this off of a two yet three-dimensional
yeah,
thing that we live on called Facebook,
right,
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Um, I feel like we said earlier, it's hard to differentiate, and then whenever you're in that, it's a keyboard warrior type deal because you're
yeah,
like people feel more apt to troll
yeah,
on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, because they feel like they have a voice there, right? That they can't be censored. Um, but then you find out very quickly that
yeah,
like these algorithms,
yeah,
they can tell, right?
yeah.
So
And let me just be honest. I'm gonna say something that, do people get to me, right?
yeah,
There are times where I will watch other people's not watch other people's content. I'll see what's going
yeah,
on their social, right? Or that certain post that they're posting, and I won't agree with it,
yeah,
and I'll take it differently, and I'll want to like snap back at them and be like, no, that's not okay,
yeah,
right? But the second that I did that recently, right?
okay,
There was I don't need to get there was an event that I made a live video about,
yeah.
and a lot of people know about that,
Everybody knows about it.
right? And you know what? Respectfully, uh, in my own mind, I wanted the world to see what I was seeing.
Yeah,
Honorably, I should have been more respectful.
yeah,
But, uh but to me, the way that I came across with my point of view, it allowed other people's to also have a point of view
yeah.
that maybe they might not have voiced if I wouldn't have stood up. And,
That's a good way of putting it.
because let's just be honest, man, like, there are people out there that are scared to speak up against the noise.
I mean, so I'm not afraid to talk about it. Storm Ventures Group has been a very influential group
They
in
are.
the past.
They have been.
And Anthony has been very influential
He
in
has.
my life.
Yeah,
Um, so I feel like there are issues in every organization,
sure.
and that people do need to see them.
Yeah,
And I feel like those help strengthen and make those organizations better.
yeah.
And if not, then that time will prove what that organization was all about.
Right.
One big thing that we're talking about, and there's a couple of things that I'd like to talk about. One of them is Mad Sky.
Yeah,
Okay, so you worked for Mad
I
Sky.
did.
Tell us your involvement in Mad Sky. What exactly you did?
Yeah, so, in the very beginning, Mad Sky was a startup company,
Yeah,
that the insurance companies wanted, to create a program, for roofers. There had never been a managed repair program before for roofing companies. And when I started the first day, at Mad Sky, I had answered a Craigslist ad. I've told this story before.
yeah.
I never knew what fucking roofing was.
I didn't
Uh,
either, actually.
so
Craigslist ad.
yeah.
Shout out LC Newspack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Elsie was I go to this agency, and they said, "Okay, you need to type 21 words a minute." And I'm like, "I'm going, okay, cool."
Right,
Right? I'm like, "What kind of place is this? We're
right,
going to have to type a lot."
right. Yeah.
So, I get there, and I meet Courtney Smith, and I don't know if you know Courtney.
No, I don't.
Courtney's shout out to Courtney. She's still in the roofing industry. She
Okay.
still works at Mad Sky.
Okay, awesome.
She's been there. She's one of the I think she was like number one employee or something back then.
Nice.
but my very first boss in the industry was Reggie Brock.
Oh,
Yeah. So
really?
yeah, when I first
Shout out Reggie. I
yeah,
Contractor Fellowship every Wednesday
yeah,
morning at
yeah,
7:30. If you're not a part of Contractor
yeah,
Fellowship, 7:30 a.m. We'll send you the link. Jim Johnson, shout out Jim Johnson as well.
yeah,
Reggie Brock, really?
yeah,
So tell me a
yeah.
little bit about that.
Yeah, so, I worked on the side where we were calling homeowners, we were scheduling the appointment for the roofer, we were calling the roofer to let them know they had an
Yeah,
inspection scheduled, and, we learned something very quickly I learned something very quickly about roofers at that point, and back let's just say the Plano storm was one of the worst storms that ever hit Texas.
yeah.
We everybody, if even though Plano got hit last night, the Plano
Plano
storm,
Wiley, yeah,
yeah,
that
the
was
Plano Wiley
bad.
storm,
Yeah.
right? One of my very first calls, I learned that hail was bad, and it was a lady crying on the phone,
Oh wow.
and I'm like, "Ma'am, please calm down. Why are you crying?" And
You're trying to figure out what the hell
yeah,
she's crying
right.
about.
I'd never been in the roofing industry before.
Right.
I really didn't know hail. I mean, I'd seen hail maybe once or twice, or grapple is what it's called in Colorado,
Yeah.
when it's in the wintertime. But no, she's like, you just don't understand. My house is destroyed. My roof is caving in, and I was like, well, I don't get it. But we started sending roofing contractors out on 10 inspections a day. Like,
Yeah.
we would give somebody like you 10 inspections, and we would have it here, there, and there, and there.
Is that
Plano,
realistic?
Dallas,
Right.
DFW. There's no way
No
you can
way.
get across the metro
Yeah.
uh, more than 4 or 5 times a day,
Yep.
or even in a small little area. But no, I quickly rose in the ranks at Mad Sky, and I became their national network consultant because I saw a very big problem, in roofers didn't understand technology.
I think we still have a problem with
Yeah,
technology. I think, yeah.
yeah,
I don't think that I know that. I think
uh,
that's why you're here.
and the technology problem wasn't a problem. It
Yeah.
just needed to be educated.
Exactly.
And we all carry a phone,
Yep.
whether it be Android or iPhone.
Yep.
The app-based experience is different for both. But if you have somebody that can walk you through it, that is like myself, or somebody else, it makes it better. So we went from like a 40% closing rate on all of those insurance direct jobs, where the insurance company was saying you need to use our preferred
Yeah.
contractor, but only 40% of the people were saying yes, to over 60% once we started training them how to use the product,
Okay.
or the technology, how to actually get a contract signed,
Yeah.
how to properly inspect a house,
Right.
and just overall how to speak to the customer.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, in a hailstorm, what's the first thing that most roofing companies do? It's time to build your sales team. Oh man, we could make $100 million this year.
Yeah.
And guess what goes out the window? Education. Because pipe dreams and money override everything else.
Mm.
So if you're not training your team to properly execute, your company is going to fail. But it's not just properly executing sales, it's executing all the way to the pickup of the final check.
You keep on saying yours. That is extreme ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to continue to grow yourself and educate yourself, or provide education to your team of different types of experts who have been there and done that. If you haven't, they're going to fail. Like Sil and I were talking last night. Sil's been in the industry for like almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
And she's had to learn everything on her own, although she's worked for great people before.
Right.
When I started in this industry, I knew how to sell. I knew how to do an inspection. I didn't know how to project manage.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of times people fail, is the project manage. So from the sale to the build to the close to the pulling the permit to all of those other things, nobody ever teaches that.
Dude, I videoed a roofer yesterday that didn't know the material he was installing.
Right.
He had no clue. So I was
No.
like, all right, let's talk about X. And they're like, I'm not sure. And I'm not dogging, because I know that they're watching today. Not dogging you at all. We're really trying to push you to be better.
Yeah.
This is what this is all about.
Yeah.
Education
Right.
is to make us
I'm
better.
definitely not putting anybody down out there. I'm really
Yeah.
saying, hey, look, your sales team depends on you to give them what they need, and they
Depends
don't
on
know what they need.
you.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
You have to take extreme ownership in your company. It is your company. It is no one else's.
Yeah.
No one else is going to come along and educate this next generation.
Yeah. It's like salespeople. I'm tired of hearing salespeople come a dime a dozen. Like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Like, salespeople come to you with a problem. They need a job. They need a career. They want to be taken in. They want to know how it is that you became successful. If you shut down and say, "Oh, just go sell," that's not teaching them anything. That's if you show them how to door knock, that's not teaching them anything. You have to do like every single bit of the process of roofing from start to finish is a peanut butter and jelly. We talked about that.
Yeah, bro, let's go. Okay, do the peanut butter and jelly.
All right, man. So everything in roofing is as easy as a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay.
All of us build a peanut butter and jelly sandwich differently.
All right.
So for me, if I'm building a roof, like you're doing it this way, right? You're pulling out the two pieces of bread, you're putting the peanut butter, you're putting the jelly on, and then you're slapping it together. For me, maybe that's a great peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
But for you, maybe you like more peanut butter.
Man, I like it cut into triangles,
Right.
bro.
Maybe I might like more jelly than you, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I might get a little sloppy and might add too much for my own.
Yeah.
And then I'm not liking my own jelly.
Yeah.
So, but if you follow the exact same steps that you do every time, you're going to have a great peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't and you slack off or you don't follow the
It
process,
could be a crappy peanut butter and jelly.
it's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
So I give that analogy not to,
I love that.
right, not to put anybody down or like back to a kid state,
Right.
but really it's the creation or the process that is what's driving people to do better or be better.
Right.
So if you're creating processes for your team, you never have to worry.
Yeah.
And if you're telling people to follow that process you created for them, they're going to do it. Yeah. Especially if you say you're not going to get paid if you don't follow this process the way that I tell you to do it.
There you go.
But you have to tell your people how they get paid.
Well, there you go. Well, here's the thing though, is that you can't if they're 1099.
Right.
So that's a big deal right now.
Right.
1099 or W-2.
Right. Yeah, the contracts that I've signed in the past have been horrible for me.
Yes.
As a salesperson, if you're a salesperson watching this video right now, you need to make sure that you bring that contract either to a lawyer or somebody who's willing to help you read it and understand it.
Shout out to the Roofers Union. I had a issue with one of my contracts. Actually, every contract since then I've given to them to review, even the contract I got from RSI. And they will review that for you for free.
Yeah.
The Roofers Union will. And if there's an issue, if there's a discrepancy, if you're not getting paid, they will help, but you have to be ready for what they're willing to do.
Right. Yeah. And you know what though? We all have an obligation and a responsibility to understand what it is that we sign on to do.
Yeah, it does.
There was some posts last night about contract obligations and what people think versus other people think about contracts, right? And should you follow a contract to the T, right?
Right.
And yes, we should all follow a contract to the T, but roofing company owners should also be able to help a person understand what it is that they need to do in order to get paid correctly. Because if I need to sell, build, and collect in order to get my third, like line out what it is in the sale that I need the third, what it is in the build that I need to do to get that. Yeah. And what do I need to do to close that out to get my other third?
Right.
But don't just say, hey, go sell.
Right.
And not tell me how to build and collect.
That's a very good point.
So
not a lot of people do that.
No. And it's because they become overwhelmed.
I think that the systems and processes like you were talking about, those are extremely important to execute. Yeah. If you put those systems and processes in place, that's cool. But if you don't execute them, it doesn't mean a shit.
No.
And that includes video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Video's easy.
I heard you, I've actually heard you say it a couple of times, which is cool. And I started to say it to the contractors that I talk to now. It's like require that they do a
Oh, yeah.
video and they do a 30-second video. That's how they're getting paid on that project management on that job.
Right.
So now they do these photos and or videos,
Yeah.
and it needs to be video
Upload it to their CRM or wherever.
or what is that? Company cam,
Yeah, or
right?
company ca
Company
yeah,
cam
company
is
account.
really easy
Yeah,
for a company to navigate through. It's not a Dropbox or anything like that.
yeah,
Um, so let's talk about photos. Let's talk about videos.
yeah.
Real quick. Do you have more photos or videos in your phone?
I have more photos.
Okay.
I'm a photographer first.
Okay.
I have, over 70,000 photos in my phone,
70,000. That's a lot.
and, but I also have over 13,000 videos in my phone.
Okay. Yeah. I got like 40,000 photos
Yeah.
and I can't remember how many
A
videos.
lot of those pictures are, though, are in old inspections.
Right. Same.
Right.
Yeah. And so I don't know why I haven't, like, and I've tried to take a little time, but there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of photos of hail hits.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me
but
tell
I'm
you a
thinking
quick
that
thing.
we should use them though.
Yeah. Uh, use the live photo feature if you have an iPhone.
Okay.
And if you have a live photo of hail hits, you can take all, it doesn't matter if it's hail hits.
Yeah.
If it's a live photo, you can create that into a 1.5 second video or 2 second video.
Okay.
So if you want to create a 7 or 15 second video
Yeah.
using old live photos, and I've done it, all you have to do is turn it into a video.
Ah.
And now you have a 15 second video if you've got 7 photos.
Okay.
So that's a new trick if you're out there
All
and
right.
you maybe you've only taken a ton of live photos and now you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I don't have any videos. Yeah, you do. They're live photos.
My man.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
That's a little life hack right there
yeah,
that was shared today. So, let's talk about licensing
yeah.
in Texas and
Oh
permits.
yeah,
Um,
that's a horrible topic here, man.
it 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 so it depends upon what side of the fence you're on.
Yeah,
What do you think about voluntary licensing, and do you support it?
yeah, man. I support all licensing requirements for all tradesmen, right? Like you can't just go be an electrician right
Right.
now. You can't just go be a plumber.
Yeah.
You have to do shit in order to get those licenses. But here in Texas, you have to have a license to cut hair, but
Yeah.
you can build a house from the ground up with nothing,
Right.
and that's
In
not
California, it's not the same
yeah,
thing. You have to
okay,
be like a journeyman for 4 years
right,
before you can even apply
right,
to be a contractor.
and then you have to take a test, and
Right.
it's a hard test.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's not easy. These contractors are sharing their stories, and they're
right,
telling me about this. They're like, "Listen, I can't just go and Mickey Mouse my shit like you."
right,
And that kinda hits low
right,
because, like, "Oh, well, how Mickey Mouse are we
right, yeah.
compared to you?"
Yeah, roofing deserves to have a standardized education,
Yes.
all the way from every position in roofing, not just roofing, right?
Yes.
Maybe one day we'll all have our own titles of what we do at a roofing company,
Yeah.
and maybe you're already doing that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people consider you a roofer.
Yeah.
And even if you're an installer, you're just a salesperson. The homeowner thinks you're a roofer. So, but yes, we should have standardized education that everybody follows. If it's Texas, and then maybe Louisiana is different, all of our laws are different.
Yeah.
But I think that, yeah, I think it's a great idea to hold ourselves accountable or to a higher standard of what we expect from our industry.
Yeah, I truly believe in this. I think permitting is a really big part of it too.
Yeah, permitting is yeah,
Pulling your permits.
but also having somebody to inspect that house and make sure that it's great after.
Yes. So, I met with a contractor earlier this week, and when I came into the meeting, he was actually meeting with an inspector. And what he was doing was he's building large, like commercial properties, law offices, stuff like that. And he wanted to make sure that his guys were doing the right thing
Yeah,
before he called the city to come out and do the inspection.
right,
So he's investing in his company by knowing that his stuff is going to pass inspection.
right,
And if it's not, he's going to tell him.
right.
That way he can go back and fix that. Um, do you find like a rise or a decrease here in the past 5 years for pulling permits?
You know, yeah, I find oh, so I'm gonna speak for Colorado,
Okay.
right? there have during COVID, it was very difficult to go get a permit.
Right.
And there wasn't anybody really checking.
Yeah.
But in order to sell your house, you have to be able to prove that you did all of this work.
Yeah.
And then if the building enforcement finds out that you did something wrong, they're coming after you.
Yeah.
But I did find that the permitting was down, and then also the deductible enforcement was also.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, deductible enforcement is coming around here in Texas. We've seen the posts
Quite a bit.
But in Colorado, SB 85 is still not followed, right? Like,
Okay.
we can talk about Texas not collecting deductibles or anywhere else, but let's just be honest. You guys in Colorado are probably not collecting all of the deductibles as
Yeah.
well. Some of you.
I mean, I know
Yeah,
you
I'm not
guys in
saying
Texas
all,
aren't either,
right?
so
Yeah, but there are some that
yeah.
will not collect those deductibles, and it's your responsibility as a roofing contractor to collect that deductible so all of us can freaking get paid.
There you go. How
So
detrimental is not collecting deductible?
it's continued to cause the same problem that we all have, and it's not the homeowners that are doing it, it's the roofers that have always done it. That, oh, I'll waive your deductible so you sign right here. And I've done it before myself. Like,
Yeah.
let's just be real.
Yep.
Like,
Have to.
we all well, there somebody out
I'm
there,
sure.
oh, I never did that
I
before, right?
fucking
Yeah,
bullshit.
but they also gave them an AR-15
Right. Right. And 250 feet of free gutters and an iPad and
right.
yeah.
Let's give you a free upgrade.
Yeah.
Let's talk about free upgrades for a second.
Okay.
That's been on my mind recently as well.
All right.
So in the insurance world, it says like,
Kind and quality.
not 40-year for free.
Right.
But
or
the
30-year for free.
Or 30-year from a 25.
Right.
And that's where I still don't understand. The insurance company will say like, kind of quality, but then they'll also tell them don't sign that contract unless they're going to give you an upgrade.
Yeah.
And then, but they want
But
you.
They won't pay for it.
Right? They won't pay for it, but they also want you to collect that deductible.
Yeah.
So
That doesn't make sense.
or extra money for the decking or whatever
Right.
else. But I find that I just find it like hypocrisy.
I feel like it's order taking.
Yeah.
It's not selling.
Right.
I feel like if you're giving things away,
yeah.
I know you're not a sales rep.
Right.
You are an order taker.
Yeah.
You're a glorified order taker that and
prove your value, man. Get that.
Shit. Like, this is what I've been trying to push for a very long time. Like, even my best friend watching this, if you're watching it, you know what I'm talking about. You're selling to you a lot of the times.
Right.
You're like, okay, well, I can't afford to buy this Euro Shield roof, right?
No, not many people
so
can.
Like, right. So like,
Yeah.
they're like, okay, well, I can't afford this Euro Shield roof, so they can't afford this Euro Shield roof. And that immediately puts you into a mindset that you're not going to sell that.
Right.
Period. In a discussion.
Yeah.
But the next guy or you walk up and you're like, hey, look,
here's
this product is freaking amazing. Yeah. I just did this video last week, and then they're interested in it and buy what you're asking or you're putting out there, right? That's a sale.
Yeah.
Opposed to the opposite.
You know how many people actually have done something because of seeing those videos of your show?
A lot.
And
a ton.
And the reason is because people that product's been out for 25 years.
Yeah.
And but it's finally taking hold in the market share of being a very premium product that does repel hail.
Do you think that has a lot to do with their social media?
Like
getting the reach, because we had, let's be honest, we had F-Wave, right? F-Wave is the Texas based company. So for Texas, when we were seeing Euro Shield, we think, well, why not just put an F-Wave shingle up there, right? But we see the benefits, right? So we're seeing these videos, we're seeing these things. Do you think that growth is correlated to social?
I walked on the F-Wave roof last week as well.
Yeah.
And you know what? Great product. It just they're It's a great product. The EuroShield, I've talked with Leslie, the CEO of,
Right.
her and I are really close.
Yeah.
Like, I don't work for EuroShield. I don't get paid by EuroShield at all. So if
Yeah.
anybody ever wonders that, I've never been paid by EuroShield.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I ask people to reach out to me if they want me to come out and do stuff for them.
Yeah.
Because again, it's all about helping the industry.
Absolutely. So, you
Yeah.
talk about clicks of
Yeah.
the videos
Yeah.
and who's correlated to that. So,
Yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are hundreds and thousands of people,
Yeah.
just because I know that call to action is a big thing.
Yeah.
And one video, if you get one or two people to click on that video, I know like my videos aren't that big, and the I did a podcast in a cigar lounge.
That's awesome.
Right. So I did that.
I think you and I are gonna smoke a cigar here in a little while.
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah.
We're actually getting close to that time now.
Yeah.
And that video reached Last Frontier Roofing,
Oh, okay.
right?
Nice.
They had never heard of me before, but they seen the podcast and the short form from the podcast. And then immediately we were golfing and like 2 days later.
Right.
Like he jumped into my DMs and then from my DM, I know how he got my phone number,
Right.
but I didn't give it to him.
Right.
It was all from call to actions that I put out online.
Right.
So,
let's go back to EuroShield thing real quick about their marketing. Yes, they are really working hard on it, and
Yeah.
I've been training a lot of their new employees.
Yeah.
On what I do. They came out with me when I was in North Carolina with Perkins Builder Brothers
Yep.
a couple weeks ago. Which
that was pretty badass.
it was phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Like Eric Perkins is one of those guys that I look up to.
Yeah.
He's got 1.5 million followers from making long form videos of
Yeah.
construction.
Yes.
And he makes one video a week. And it takes him 9 to 10 hours a week to
Okay.
create that one video.
Wow.
He takes one day off from being the superintendent of his own company.
Yeah.
To create content.
Hmm.
And that's where I fail, because I couldn't take one day a week for 9 or 10 hours and make a long form video.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Right.
Man, if I had to do that, I'd just start my whole life over again, for real.
It's different.
Yeah. But EuroShield is heading in the right direction. And they have been for quite some time. In regards to that, shout out to Summerly.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing a really great job over there of making sure that the world or the United
Big
States.
shout out to David Summerly.
David's been my friend for many, many years. A lot of
Yeah.
people know that. Like, we were the hustlers together when where I'd be at 700,000, he'd be at 800,000, I go to 900,000, and we were always those people pushing each other to be better at our own company.
Yeah.
We worked together.
Hell yeah.
And but no, in any business out there, in regards to manufacturers or building suppliers or whatever it is, if you don't have somebody out there pushing content for you every single day, the right kind of content, your company is not going to reach the people it deserves to reach.
Yeah.
So you should be following everything that a social media platform has to offer, from live features to the editing features to the posting features to doing whatever it is that they offer. If you're not doing all of those, you're leaving something behind that could potentially reach more people. And if you say that your marketing is great right now, and
You're lying.
You're lying. You could be better.
Yep.
Everybody could. I could be better.
Yes.
You could be better. Like,
Yes.
there's always room for improvement to be great.
Yes. I like that. And you use the word great, which is in your brand.
World's greatest.
And if you type in your name on Facebook, well, at least so this is true for the people in the roofing industry, at least. When you type in great, your name pops up.
Yeah.
So it's synonymous with that.
And then also, if you search World's Greatest Roofr on Google,
it's
18 pages of me.
Yeah.
And so World's Greatest
Yeah.
is not just roofer anymore, it's World's Greatest.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to buy another company, Karina and I, called World's Greatest Realtor.
Okay.
And we're going to open up the LLC.
Yep.
Because we see the social media trends in all of the different industries, from roofing to cooking to real estate. Like,
Okay.
there's an opportunity for every industry to be better. Shout out to Victor Rancour in the HVAC world that's doing big things on his content.
Okay.
Brett, he works a lot with Brad Lee, and
Okay.
I've been watching Victor on the come up the past year, and he's doing some great stuff. But just for example, in the HVAC world, Victor is the guy.
Yeah.
And there's other people out there that are just like me or just like Austin Blumquist or Roofer Girl, right? Like all of
Yeah.
my friends, but we could go over the roofing influencers, all John Sinek, right? Shout
Yeah.
out to John.
Yeah.
But
Big shout out to John. I'm trying to get him to
yeah,
come on to the podcast
yeah,
soon.
but in every industry, there are those people out there that are doing well or preaching that gospel of
Yeah.
put yourself on camera right now, or else you're gonna get left behind. And that's
It's true.
yeah,
It is 100% true. That came up at dinner last night.
yeah,
And it is in a lot of major circles. I mean,
yeah,
Tillman
yeah,
was sitting there like 50 feet from me
right,
when we were talking about this. He was listening.
yeah,
People of great influence
yeah,
are looking at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and they all understand that they have got to get on
yeah.
or they're getting left behind.
Oh, there's so many great people out there from our past
Yeah.
that have been on TV or movies or whatever they've done.
Yep.
They were our influencers.
Yes.
And now the micro influencers are taking over the planet, or the people that are becoming more influential because of what they're doing on social.
Yeah.
Like people might want to watch me versus watching a movie, right? It's all in who you love.
I agree with that. So we were talking about consumption last night on they're like, "Hey man, did you watch this video with this?" And I'm like, "I don't have time for video right
Yeah.
now. I really don't." My wife will put something on or I'll say, "Hey, yeah, let's put that video on." But it's really just background noise for me cuz like background noise helps. It's like a white noise type thing for me.
Sure.
It helps me dial in a little bit more, get a little more focused. But consumption was a big deal. It's like we're consuming more
Yeah.
and we need to produce more.
Yeah.
Um, and it's in all major walks of life, so everybody knows that they need to do it. So we're getting close to the end
Yeah.
here. We did promise a live Q&A
Yeah,
because I know
sure.
that when I posted that you were going to be on, it kind of caused a little controversy,
Oh yeah.
which was cool. I like controversy. I posted about my daughter getting baptized in a group, and it got like in 200 something comments. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so in that controversy bred, I got a lot of followers off of
Yeah.
it. So I accept controversy and I like it. As long as it's clean, we're gonna go ahead and start on the question portion. Matt had one, or this is the second thing from Matt. You go ahead and read it.
Yeah, roofers support team are called happiness heroes, and they truly are. I say that too. I do get to talk to that team or give them some encouragements from time to time. I don't work together with them, but those folks are bar none the best customer service in the world. Like I don't know how the leaders do it over at our company
Yeah.
over top of those support teams. The leaders are great people first, and then it just trickles down to all of them. And every time they talk to a roofer, or we get a customer feedback. It's typically great, and it was thank you for helping me.
Yeah.
And it's really just helping people understand the technology that they need to be better at their own position. And thank you to our team.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Roofer team. Um, my wife.
What's up, Sarah?
Hey guys, absolutely. I want to give a big shout out to my wife, Sarah. She is on every single one of my broadcasts. She makes sure that my audio is good.
She texting you right now.
She probably is.
Wrap that shit up.
Yeah, I had a few. I had a few where the audio was just gone. She texted me real quick so I could jump onto it. Let's see. What did she say here?
Y'all are doing an amazing. Keep up great work.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Chuck Allen. Shout out to Chuck Allen at Business 411. Allen says, always great to hear from TJ. He's great at, what is it? Teaching. Yeah, I cannot see that great.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you're gonna have to do the rest of this.
I appreciate that. As a police officer, not many people know this. I'm a DUI expert.
Really?
Yeah, alcohol. Maybe you don't know this. I don't drink alcohol.
Well, that's
and it's
cool.
not that I've had any issues with alcohol in the past, because I really haven't. I come from a family of alcoholics.
Okay.
But I taught DUI for 9 years in the police academy.
Wow.
So police officers all over Virginia, Northern Virginia, they would come to our academy, and I would teach it once or twice a year for 3 weeks. And all the way from how to pull over a drunk driver all the way to, convicting them for it. And
Wow.
um, now teaching roofing for me is a passion of mine because I want people to be better
Yeah.
at what they're doing and understand what it is that we're trying to teach. Because a lot of times we'll go to a conference or an event where maybe it's over our head. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't quite understand that high level yet, or maybe I don't understand it at that level at all.
Yeah.
But if you explain it to me in layman's terms, man, I take it and run with it. And
You're good at that.
I think that's where people should focus instead of being so high level
Yeah.
that they're leaving out all of the other people that might not quite get it.
That's some truth right there.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Next, we got Pate Smith.
Thanks, Pate. He said great discussion.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pate. Raphael. What's up, Raphael?
You know what? I met Raphael. And so Raphael's been following me for a while.
Yeah.
And I asked him yesterday, I was like, why the hell aren't you following? Or like, why aren't we friends? Like I appreciate all the love that dude engages on all my posts. And
Yeah.
so he followed me last night and we became friends. And
That's cool.
so, but I met him yesterday for the first time at our event. And what a great guy, man. Brunei Roofing.
Yeah.
That's
And he's extremely well Spanish spoken.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like really great Spanish spoken. Shout out to Raphael and his team.
Yeah. What's up, Conrad? Conrad's one of my friends, man.
Conrad, what's up?
Memphis Roofing.
Ooh.
What's up, Matt? Hopefully the AI eliminates the need for politicians.
That's hilarious. I'm not going to speak on that one.
Yeah, the president is no longer the president. He's called the Terminator.
That's what everybody's scared of right now. Matt Fruge. I mess up the last name.
Fruge.
Fruge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shout out to Matt. He's the CEO of Square Dash.
Yeah.
Square Dash is a great financial institution that if you need help in your company with a financing institution, please reach out to Square Dash.
Yeah. And Matt flew JSX yesterday. That's like my preferred method of transportation. So I was really excited to see that. We got to talk about JSX and charter flights for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last comment is again from my wife.
Yeah. It says your son's birthday's today.
Oh, shout out to my toddler.
Oh yeah.
Which is no longer a toddler.
Yeah.
He's 4 years old now.
Yeah.
He does have a birthday today. We're gonna have a pool party next to the pool. So
Nice.
if you're in the inner circle, you know who you are. Pool party at my house. Man, it has been a absolute live stream.
Yeah, thank you.
This has been no dead airspace. We've been on top of it. We've been able to hit a lot of topics that are touchy.
Yeah.
That a lot of people are looking at and want to hear from.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you coming on. And I really, really appreciate you making the time to come in the studio and talk with us. Like, this is awesome.
I would think we planned this out, but man, I'd love for you to tell people what your experience was of Rise, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
And that's not me switching.
No.
But
you're good.
your full honest opinion of our event, because we have 4 more coming up.
Yeah.
Atlanta and Minneapolis are coming up just a few weeks away.
Yeah.
And then also Carlsbad, California, just north of San Diego, and then Seattle, one of my favorite places.
Ooh.
I've never been to Seattle yet.
I mean, neither.
But I hear a lot of great things about the roofing industry up there, and I can't wait to see it for myself.
Man, I'd like to be a fly on the wall on those.
Yeah.
I was late,
Yeah.
so
Well, you weren't too
that.
late.
Yeah,
you missed Pete.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we all have jobs to do, right? And so I'm in this content creation now, so I had some stuff to do. But like immediately once I came in, the registration was extremely professional, even though I was late. The name tag badges and lanyards, absolutely awesome. I think they were very professional. It's hard for that to get misconstrued with anything else or bent up or anything like that. So it's really cool. When I went inside, I wasn't met with any resistance, especially videotaping. So I was excited about that. I was a little worried about that. A couple of legal departments were on me here recently. And you guys just were like, you encouraged me to go and videotape, so
Yeah.
that was awesome. Oh, by the way, I'll share Dropbox with you for
Sure.
anything. I actually have a Dropbox with all of it.
Okay.
Editors are working on a video now,
Cool. Cool.
so I'll share that with you. The content, um, I mean, I was apprehensive about coming. But just full disclosure, like I wanted something a little different, and and uh, I'm selfish.
Yeah.
We all are,
Yeah.
right? I, I, from preconceived ideas or what have you, and to be able to step in and it all go away,
Yeah.
like
The
as soon as
anxiety. Yeah.
it was gone. As
Right.
soon as I came in, anxiety was gone. I didn't feel worried at all. Uh, and the response from the people there was extremely warm.
Yeah.
Uh, the content, there was nothing that was off limits.
Yeah.
I was scared I, because Roofer's corporate. I
Yeah.
was scared that there was going to be censorship there.
Yeah. And
But you guys didn't tell David to shut up at all,
I didn't tell David to shut up.
and I like that.
I wanted David to be real.
Yeah,
I watched David's podcast.
yeah.
I don't tell him I watch his podcast, but I
Yeah.
watch his podcast.
So you knew what you were getting into.
Man, David,
Yeah.
David is real.
Yeah.
And I wanted somebody to hear a point of view that was different, that maybe they also have,
Yeah.
and that they're scared to speak up and say. Because again, in our industry, we have a lot of people who have ideas that get suppressed by other people who think that they're bigger and better.
Yeah.
So
I see that.
but David brought the house down yesterday. And I'm not gonna apologize for what he said.
No, yeah, I wouldn't either. I think that what he said needed to be said. The questions that were asked were good. Needed to be asked, needed to be answered. I like the rawness. I like the well, this is how I do it.
Yeah. And
And
we
need
didn't
that.
allow just the speakers to do that. We allowed the whole room to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. So like you're like, questions, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got one and juicy. The crowd's asking juicy questions.
Yeah.
So there was no censorship there.
The engagement is what I really dove for, because in
Yeah.
just in social media, I always talk about engagement, but in real life, you need engagement too, because if you're just dry and you're putting on the same show and people aren't talking and they're not asking questions.
You made people do homework.
Yeah.
Oh,
in the middle.
I've in the middle of it. I respect that shit. So I'm like, okay, I helped out. I'm not gonna spoil it. That way, everybody in the following, you guys they got homework coming, okay?
But it's not just.
It's not like homework. It's fun.
I'm going to make you get out of your way.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So to be concise with it, it was fun. It was engaging, and more than anything, I made connections there, in a different way. We all networked in these groups that were, and I watched this, and I don't want to copy what someone else said, but they were very cliquish, and you were able to move, and I watched myself and you and David. We moved between each one of those groups.
Yeah.
And just kept it pushing.
Yep.
Because you're getting pulled from one person, you get pulled from another one person, and it eliminated impersonality.
Yep. You can't.
It was done, and I know that the way that you guys set that up was very psychological. So the way in which where you guys broke and everybody came out to a certain spot, what was there, what was engaged in that spot, and how the photographer was at the end, the games, everything, like it was set up very well.
Thank you.
I hope to make the cut for golf there, because I think I was maybe the only one that used that little putting green.
Yeah.
I was pretty excited to see that. So if you have that putting green in other states, I would definitely suggest that if you're a die-hard golfer, bring your putter, bro. Like, be about that life.
One of the things that I've seen in the education world is that we just have a problem allowing other people to speak, instead of people paying for the stage. And
Ooh.
paying for a stage is not influencing others.
No, it's not.
Influencing
There's
others,
nothing wrong with pay to play, I don't
right?
think. I
There's
think
not
that there's a
well,
time and a place for it.
there is. I mean, it's
Um,
always going to be a place,
exactly.
right?
Time and a place.
Right. But if we can give real rawness from people who might not be picked to be on that stage,
Yes.
that's what I'm after. Is like the whole perspective instead of just a few.
Yeah.
And it's not just me. Like our whole team is amazing. Shout out to Mao. If you guys don't know who Mao is like my right hand person at Roofer when it comes
Okay.
to she is in charge of events, and she is one of the most meticulous women I've ever met in my life. And she is so expert at her own skill or her own craft that the reason why our event was so great yesterday, uh the operations portion of it
Yeah.
was all her.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Big
well, and
shout out to
Clarissa
and
too, right?
Clarissa.
Yeah. But you know, all the way up to Richie having us input of our CEO and Mark, our vice president of marketing, and Adriana. Like a lot of people don't know Adriana. Adriana is our graphic designer on our marketing team.
She does a good job.
Yeah,
She
like
does a very good
she's
job.
the one who designed all of Rise.
Okay.
For the branding.
Yeah.
And you know, that came from our team, and those people that are behind the scenes that are making it better. They I couldn't do what they've done. I could make an event right now.
Yeah.
I could do really well at it, but it won't look and be as flowful as hers or as ours, right? That we've created with Rise. And I can't wait for Atlanta. I can't wait for Minneapolis. Like those
Yeah.
two next stops, man, Donovan Morgan and Raymond Wendell Little, and you know, the people that may be a little bit abrasive,
Yeah.
but there's got such a big heart on the inside, man. Those guys are who I look up to, that they're real and they're raw, and those, you know, anybody that's real with you, I'll listen to you all day.
Mm. Are you guys going after a trade show?
You know, next year, we'll see.
Well,
Yeah, we hope that next year that we're able to put on more events.
okay, yeah.
And
I'd like to see that.
yeah.
I'd like to see like a Dallas intermixed in there. You know, I'm not gonna say don't come to Houston. I
Right.
really love Houston,
Right.
so come to Houston. But I think Dallas definitely needs to be in there, or Austin,
Yeah.
because Austin doesn't really have a lot of roofing events.
There was a couple other cities that I really wanted to go to this year, like New York City.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
because it's like gangster up there, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what I wanted. I wanted to rent out the top floor of a skyscraper, so that way we can have one of the biggest views of roofs in the world.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a vision.
yeah. So
Let's
like,
make that happen in
yeah.
the next year or two.
Well, if we're roofers, like another thing that I
We should be
wanted
able
to
to.
do, I want to be on a roof educating.
Yeah.
So if I can't be on the roof, I could be on the top floor, and I could show you all the roofs that are being built below.
Wow.
So, and that's not just there. I want to be in Boston. I think
Boston's good.
Yeah, I know that Richie has said something about going to Toronto.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna hit some places that people leave out.
Because y'all are worldwide. Like,
well,
it's all over the place.
You know, I'll say this: we're on North America right now, but there's some great opportunities in other countries.
Well, you said you're in Spain, right?
No, our employees are.
Ah,
But our product is starting to branch out into
Okay.
other countries.
okay.
Hopefully soon, you know, like
Yeah.
we'll see. And I know that they've changed some metric systems around and to make sure that we're capturing those other places as well. But you know, one day hopefully we're all over the world, you know. But for right now, we're going to concentrate what we're great at, and that's the United States and Canada. And then hopefully real soon, maybe we'll have an update about other places.
Dude, I love it.
So, but no, next year, stay tuned. And we'll see.
Yeah.
But no, this is these first several events we want to make sure we kill. And if we do it good, maybe next year we can help more people.
Well, you killed it in Houston. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, man, it has been a live stream here on the Roofing on the Rise studio, where we are
Gang. What's up, Diego? I see you. What's up?
What's up, bro?
Have a great rest of you guys.
Partnered.
Have a great day, guys.
Absolutely.
I see Sam the roof guy, but I'll holler at you guys later.
Absolutely. Roofing Supply Incorporated sponsors every single one of our broadcasts. Thank you so much, TJ, for coming on.
Gotcha,
and
man.
we are going to go and have a cigar.
Let's
You
go.
guys have a wonderful day.